Okay everyone, well after a long delay, I'm finally able to get you the video of the Macintosh IIfx that I told you about a couple videos ago. So I'm just here at my brother's place right now for Easter, and I figured while I'm here, I asked him if I could make a video on this if he had time, and it worked out, so it was all good. So I have the computer uncovered right now because I wanted to show it to you, and just the innards, if you want to call it that. Normally the way it would work is the top of it is right over here. Obviously, we go on top. I'll just give you a shot of that. Look at that. There's a little date. 11/12/89. That's cool. And here's the front. That's where the power supply light would be. Here's the two slots for the disk drives. And the monitor would normally go on top there. So, let's see. Yep. Yeah, so here's the inside. We have two disk drives right here. Here's the power supply. See if I can get you the information on that. It's kind of hard. That one's easy enough, but over here it's maybe you could read that. Not sure. Okay, and then we have two video cards right here. You can see just the size that they were back then. Ethernet card right here. We're not going to use this in this video, but I'm just going to show you. That's where it is right there. Here's the hard drive. Hard drive is about, my brother said maybe 40 or 50 megabytes. Yeah, like a hard drive of this size with that much space back then, huh? That's the brand, I'm assuming. And on the back here, all the connectors for it. And right here, this goes to the keyboard. This goes to the monitors. This one's going to that black LCD one, and this is going to the CRT. And this is actually a cool function right here. On the power supply, there's this other plug. Let me show you what it looks like. Let me just unplug it for a second. See how it kind of looks like the power supply, rather the power cord, but just a little bit different. The way this works is actually when you turn the computer on. If you have like on the CRT monitor here, if you have a mechanical switch, you can leave the switch on, and every time you turn the computer on or off, the monitor will do the same thing. So it's kind of a pretty cool function that it has. I may have shown that in the Performer video way back. I think I did, but there you go. So that's a pretty cool thing. So you can actually use two monitors with this computer back then, which is really cool. Right now, the main monitor is going to be the LCD one, which is I think which in this case is good because with CRTs you have the frame rate and the refreshing and everything like that, so you may see some lines go on the screen. The LCD won't do that, so we'll be able to see everything clearly on that one. And I want to show you something here. My brother has this book here. It's called Mac and Power Mac Secrets. It's roughly from the mid-90s. I tried looking for a year, but I couldn't find one at the moment, so that's pretty cool. And over here we have here it is right here, Macintosh IIfx. And if you want, you can pause the video and read that. And check this out. When the computer first came out in 1990, $10,000. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? And that was back in 1990, so that's pretty crazy just to think about, really. And some other information here. And there's this little secret here that it has. And at some point we are going to try that out, but you can just read that if you want, and then we'll see what that does when we try that. And just for later, at some point, remember my Miniscribe hard drive right here? We'll just power this up and just show you that it runs and things like that for a later part of the video. And keyboard right here. I think I mentioned that already. And of course, they had the one-button mouse back then. This is a ball-driven one, so you can just see the difference of technology from now compared to 1990. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to start it up, let you hear the sounds, try a couple of things on it, and then we'll see where it goes from there. All right, so here we go. So just to start, the LCD monitor is already on, but as you know, it has its standby mode when it's not getting any video signal, and the CRT one is off completely. And obviously, when I switch this computer on, they'll both come up, and you can see it load and everything. And with these Apple computers, you would hit this button right here if you don't have a mechanical switch to turn it on. So what I'll do is I guess I'll stand kind of right here So that way you can see the screens come on, and yeah, you can see the power supply right there too. And hopefully you should be able to hear the computer like rev up and everything, if you want to call it that. So here we go. And both monitors are on. Now, when's the last time you saw an Apple computer start with that Welcome to Macintosh screen, huh? And there's the old Mac OS smile face that I showed in one of my other videos. If you want, you can over here, you can hear the hard drive reading and everything. And you can see it's loading everything up. So just the size of the power supplies in these computers back then was definitely something else. And you can hear the fan running right there. Hard drive's clicking away. So as this loads up, you're not really going to see much on the CRT monitor, aside from me maybe just moving the cursor over to it so you can see how it registers both of them. But on this one, you can see everything's pretty much all loaded up now. And then move the cursor over here. You can see the older style menu bar with the original Apple logo. And all these old icons. Trash used to be on the lower right there. And check that out, Netscape Navigator. When was the last time you saw last time you saw that? That's if you want to copy some discs or something. So just to start, I guess, let's just open up this Netscape Navigator just so you can see how it used to look. Now nothing's going to load because it's not connected to the internet, but just to show you what the what do you call it, interface looked like. Home.netscape.com. Wow, even I forgot about that. Oh, the logo used to do that when it was searching. Let me just stop that now because it's not going to load anything. That's just amazing to see from web browsers back then. Alright, and just to show that the keyboard is working well, what I'll do is let's open up the hard drive, and we'll go to let's go to Microsoft Word. MS Word version 5.1a. Wow. And there it is right there. Just going to turn the camera away just to make sure there's no real names that come up under the registration. It says 1992 on it, so that's when you know that's the year it's from. And just look at the setup of it back then. In some ways it is very similar to how Microsoft Word is today, but there's some other differences that you can definitely see. So just to start, I'll start typing something. I'll do it one-handed, but just you can hear it if you want to. Got a little break in the video there, but that's okay. Alright, so let's type some stuff out here. Let's see. If you can't read that, I'll zoom in a little bit. I'll zoom in more soon. Wow, there we go. Yeah, so there you go. little demonstration there of Microsoft Word. I'm sure you'll all agree with that, right? Actually, there's a little demonstration there, so I'll just quit out of that. And don't save. Alright. Alright, so let's try a couple of disks here in the drives. Now I'm just going to show that they mount on the desktop. I'm not going to like use them or anything, so now we have a couple of them right here. So we'll start with this one. There it is. You see it loaded up, no problem. Now honestly, for the speed of a floppy disk, that actually definitely did load pretty fast. So like for its time, you can definitely see how this computer was considered like, you know, top of the line or like one of the faster ones. And we'll try the other drive too. I'll have the camera face the drive so you can hopefully hear it read the disk. Okay. There you go. Okay, and then disk tools. That's the one that I just loaded, and it has system folder in it. Yeah, as you can see, both drives work perfectly. There's the two disks, and then you can actually eject them one of two ways. You can actually click on them, and then go to the special menu, and then hit eject disk. Or if you want, you can also drag it to the trash. So there's one of two ways. So what I'll do is I'll eject the disk now, and you can just hear it. You can hear the drives eject them out. So we'll start with this one. Pretty good. And then we'll do the other one. It's easy enough. So yeah, so the disk drives work very well. And then you can see here they're now grayed out because they're rejected. But if you just drag them into here, they should unmount. Yep, and they do. See? All good. Okay, so now let me show you something with the displays here. So I have to go to Control Panel, and then Monitors. Okay, and for a computer of this time, you'll notice, let me get a little closer here. You can see it has your usual from black and white to 256 colors. But because of the video cards that were installed with the computer that I told you about before, you can see thousands and millions. So isn't that something? And what is cool is you can actually do the color display separately for each monitor. So like I can do one for the CRT and one for the LCD. So, and over here, this is like the position, roughly, of the LCD and the CRT. I'll show it to you. So what I'll do is, let me go back out here. Then I'll move the cursor towards the right. There it is. See, you can see it's on the CRT monitor now. Pretty cool, huh? And we'll go back over to the LCD. And you can actually align it however you want, as you can see. Now, the funny thing about that is, when you align this, you have to restart the computer for it to take effect. So that's one huge difference from back then to now, is that you have to restart the computer to have this take effect. Now what is interesting is, if I click on where the CRT display is, apparently thousands of colors isn't available. Millions is, but not thousands. We're not too sure why that is, but I'll just click on thousands, or rather millions right there. You can see the screen adjust accordingly. So this is pretty interesting. And just for show, I'll put it to black and white. And you can see me in the reflection there. So you can see how that all works. Put it to 4, what happens? You see 4 is kind of more, put it to grays. That's about the same thing, because 4 colors really isn't that much. Okay. And then we'll put it back to millions. And there you go. And then same thing with the We'll do the same thing with the LCD. We'll change that to millions. I think by default it goes to 256 maybe. Yeah. Millions of colors on a computer from 1990. Isn't that something else? And just for the heck of it, let's go to black and white. Look at that vintage look. Isn't that something else? And then let's just do 4 for the heck of it. Not much else. You can see the 4 color shades right there. And then 16. Yeah, a little more noticeable. Or just go to grays for fun. Yeah, see what I mean? That is pretty interesting. And let's go back to this. There you go. So you can kind of see just a lot of differences as well as similarities actually between computers from back then and to now. So what we'll do now, I think, is let's go ahead and try this this little secret that the book is telling us about. So it says in order to do this, you want to set the computer's clock to March 19th of 1990, and you want to set the monitor to 256 colors. I can show you doing that, obviously. So what we'll do is we'll go to date and time in the control panels, and then so it was what was it? It was 3/19. Okay, I think that's all set. Yep. And then it says to set the monitors to 256. So I'll do that for both of them because just in case, we'll make sure that they're both set to the same thing. All right, there we go. And then it says as the computer is restarting, hold down Command, Option, and the letters F and X. So I'll have to do that off camera, but then we'll see what happens, what comes up on the screen. Okay, so the computer's restarting right now. Oh, here it is. That was fast enough. What was that? 1981 to 1989. That's really cool. So kind of like a little secret or Easter egg, if you want to call it that. Isn't that pretty cool? Alright, so there you go, little secret for you. Okay, so I put everything back to the current date and back to millions of colors. So what I'll do is we'll shut this down, and what I want you to hear is you can actually hear the hard drive here actually park the read-write head before it shuts down, which is what a lot of computers do, obviously. So what I'll do is I'll hit the key here. It says you want to shut down, so I'll hit enter, and you should be able to hear it right here. Yeah, did you hear that? That really loud click that you heard right at the end there is the heads being parked. There is just one thing before we get to my hard drive here. What I want to show you is you can really tell that the capacitors really have a lot of charge in them still, because what I'll do is I'll unplug the power cord right here, as you can see. Let's get that out. Okay, and then watch what happens when I hit the power button on the keyboard again. As you see that, how it turned on for like a split second. So that was the capacitors discharging. Okay, so what we'll do now is, just for show, I told you that I would show you this Miniscribe hard drive going that I got. So let's go ahead and get to that. Okay, and here we go. So you can see right here, I have the, there's a splitter right here. So both the computer's hard drive and my hard drive will be powered up here. But of course, I don't have anything connected on the back here because, obviously, this hard drive being open and stuff on the disk surface, it's not going to read anything properly at all. But that's okay. So, I mean, it's just going to power up the drive, nothing else. So the computer's not going to try to read a bad drive or anything. So we'll just go ahead and, let me, yeah, start from here. So you can see the lights reflecting like that. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll just start the computer back up, and then we'll see what this drive will do. And that sound probably right there is it detecting problems with the disc. Now I think the head should move a little bit more. Or is that it? I think that might be it. But yeah, as you can see, it's just running the drive. That's all it's doing. The computer's still starting up just fine because it's not trying to read that bad hard drive. It's just reading the good one right there. But that's kind of cool. And you can hear a little bit of noise of the read-write head on it, probably because when this hard drive was open, someone could have hit the... oh, there it is. It's moving a little bit. It's probably trying to like do its thing. Well, that might be where it's holding. I'm not sure. But you can see the disk runs fine. What I was saying was, you know, it's possible when this hard drive was you know, open, someone could have hit the read-write head, put it out of alignment, and then maybe it's rubbing on the disk. But I mean, it doesn't look all that bad, and honestly, it sounds pretty happy, all things considered. You can see that the disk is running fine. And it's like when I was a kid, I always wanted to see. I mean, when I was a kid, and even now, I love things that spin. And like, you know, as a kid, to see something like that would be amazing. But of course, you know, with hard drives, they got to be covered all the time, obviously, because I think they said something like along the lines of like a piece of dust is like 500 times thicker than the space between the disk and the read-write head. So that's pretty serious. Like some very serious exact engineering goes into this. But yeah, all things considered, that drive sounds okay. You can see, like here, I'll open the computer's hard drive again, and you can see everything's fine. That's just really cool to have, honestly. Okay, so we'll shut this down and hit enter. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, and then so that's basically the operation of the whole computer. So just for show, what I'll do now is I'll just show you guys how the computer looks when it's all together. Okay, guys, and this is how the IIfx looks all together. Remember, there was the thing for the power supply light, and normally the monitor here would go on top, and just how it is all alongside. And just for show, this is my brother's camera. He has the white model. Kind of cool, huh? And yeah, alright, so there you go, guys. There's your Macintosh IIfx from 1990. That video was a little long, I know, but hopefully it was all worth your time. Didn't have a boring moment for you. And yeah, when he got this from the thing, I realized I hadn't made a video on an older computer for a long time, so I thought, hey, why not? And hey, we can turn off the LCD monitor now. So there it is, guys. An older Apple computer. You got to see how things were back then. Some differences, some similarities, but definitely nowhere near as fast as things are today. So there's a nice piece of vintage computer machinery for you. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.